Hello world, it's Fancy the Quick Millennial. It's actually 5 a.m. in the morning right now. I got up at 4 to pee and I couldn't get back to see it's pitch black outside. I was tossing for an hour and I thought maybe I should just get up and clean my entire house. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And before you think I have lost my mind, there's actually a reason I need to clean my entire house. And the reason is because Riley was sick. And the story starts like this. Riley starts having diarrhea. It's like 2 days away from our appointment where she's gonna get her vaccines. Check out the book I'm reading, by the way. Pretty cool. We wait for the appointment to bring it up and ask if it's okay. We show up to the vet appointment and the person comes out and doesn't really ask us any questions at all. Like, you know, when you get the flu vaccine or when you get the COVID vaccine, they ask you a list of questions, including if you feel sick today. And, you know, the other time that Riley went to get a vaccine, someone came out and went through like a list of questions. Like, is she feeling sick? Is she vomiting? Is she having diarrhea? Is she blah, 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 blah. And this time, the person came out and was just like ready to take Riley. And I'm like, don't you need to go through like some questions and she's having diarrhea. Is it okay if she still gets her vaccine? The person is like, oh, it should be fine. And then like takes her and I'm like, okay. And then I asked, oh, do you want me to take the leash off? Because last time they were like, oh, you didn't need to bring the leash. So I asked, do you want me to take the leash off? She says, no, it's okay. So I leave the leash on. She goes in. She comes out, gets the vaccine, tells me which one went where, and she's like, and Riley doesn't have her leash. I'm like, where's her leash? She's like, oh, it's inside, I'll go get it. She goes get it, comes back out, and she tells us that, oh, the diarrhea is fine, just give her a bland diet. Okay. A couple more days go by. Riley's still having diarrhea. By the way, let me describe this diarrhea to you. Okay, it doesn't happen during the day. It only happens at night. So when I'm about to go to sleep, I get up every like 2 hours, let's say, because it varies. Like some days I'm getting up like every half hour, and on a good day maybe she sleeps for 2 or 3 hours. But I'm still getting up like freaking every 2 hours when I'm supposed to be asleep. And this has gone on for a week already, even on the bland diet. So I'm like, okay, something is wrong. And knowing me, you know, I go on like this Google rampage, like I always do. And I look up, you know, puppy having diarrhea for a week. Puppy having diarrhea like at night for a week. And why is this like over there? Sorry, I really fixated on this stupid washing machine and dryer not matching up. So yeah, like, what was I talking about? Warm water? Why the fuck not? It's been a week. I go on this Google rampage. It doesn't take me that long to find multiple Reddit threads that have other people going through the same issue. Their puppy is having diarrhea, mostly at night. And multiple threads came up with Giardia. And Giardia is a protozoan intestinal parasite. So I'm like, okay, these match Riley's symptoms almost exactly. She has diarrhea exclusively at night. She's otherwise fine, and she's been having like a prolonged episode of diarrhea. And other differential diagnoses are that you're I'm overfeeding her, because I've read that sometimes if you feed puppies too much, their stool gets looser as the day goes on. And I'm like, okay, I mean, she's on a bland diet of chicken and rice, and I'm pretty sure she's hungry as fuck because she finishes it all, and if I give her more, she'll eat it. So I'm like, I don't think I'm overfeeding her. Plus she's a puppy, she's supposed to be gaining weight. And then the other one was like a food allergy, but we haven't changed her food ever since we got her. That's been 2 months. She's been on the same dog food, the same treats. I've given her some hot dogs for training, and like I guess that's the only like human food thing that I've given her. But I stopped that when she started having the diarrhea, and she still had the diarrhea. So something's wrong. We set up an appointment to see the vet, and we go to see the vet, and I make the appointment for diarrhea. Okay, I tell them my dog's having diarrhea for a week, and that is the reason for my appointment. One moment, I need to refresh my clothes in the dryer because I forgot to take them out. I picked up this bad habit from Foxy. I don't know if she'll be mad if I said that, but she also picked up my bad habits, which is not filling up my gas tank till the very end, like you're about to run out. And actually, I've gotten better at not waiting till the last second, and she's gotten worse. I thought that's funny how we influence each other's lives like that. Anyway, steam sanitize. Damn, I could probably steam sanitize some shit. Let's do refresh. Can I turn this lower? No. I'm just gonna do a refresh. Now I'm gonna gather all the toys and split them into dishwasher, washer, and I don't know, put in the sun. Okay. We get to the vet appointment. I tell them my main complaint is diarrhea. They start asking me some other questions. Oh, is Riley coughing? Yeah, like once or twice she coughs. And oh, is she vomiting? Yeah, she vomited like once or twice in the past week. And you know, like she's a puppy, like sometimes she'll vomit. Like I don't know, like she ate too fast because she's a puppy and doesn't know how to control herself. And, you know, she vomited. I don't know, it seems like there's a normal question. But she's been having diarrhea for a week and only at night. And the vet comes out and she tells me that Riley has kennel cough. And I'll prescribe some anti-nausea, anti-cough medication, anti-diarrheal. First of all, she's not vomiting. Like, that's not my concern. She's not coughing. She coughs once, maybe, or twice. That's not my concern. My concern is diarrhea. And I just get prescribed more bland diet and anti-diarrheals. And I brought up the concern that maybe she has viruses or parasite. And I was like, oh, I don't know that diarrhea, like kennel cough can manifest in like profuse diarrhea. And that was dismissed as well. What was the last thing that happened in our conversation? And then I was like, oh, it's very interesting that she's only having diarrhea at night, because I read online that it's a very classic sign for a puppy to be having diarrhea for a week or more and having it only at night. And it's a lot of people said it was Giardia. And you know, Riley pooped that morning before the vet appointment, and I actually like picked up her poop already and had it in the car ready to give it to them. And I honestly should have just like handed it to them and said I want a stool sample. But you know, I trusted this vet, and we put our trust in these medical professionals, and we trust them to listen to our concerns and make an unbiased judgment about what's going on and give us a good diagnosis. So I was like, okay, I mean, I'm not the vet, you know, like what do I know? Like maybe she's right. And so I just went home, continued a bland diet, gave her anti-diarrheals, and yeah, some days it got better, but some days it was not better. And so this goes on for another week. Sean and I are passing Riley back and forth because I cannot do like more than one day in a row of getting up every 2 hours. And so we took turns taking her at night for about a week. During this week, I lost my mind multiple times, and I started lashing out multiple times. And the person on the receiving end of this is mostly Sean, and I feel really bad about it, and I just feel really bad about it. And Foxy, I'm sorry. And she handled it like way better than me, way better, like just way better. I have a long ways to go in this regulating my emotions, realizing what's happening, why I'm feeling this way, and telling myself that it's okay. I think having the context and telling myself that story of what's happening, that it makes sense that you're feeling this way, really helps. This is what I learned in therapy, but did I apply it during this week? No, I didn't. So that's bad. I will work on this. Okay, let's do some more organizing before I move on with this story. Here's the pen I created for her. So she hangs out in here during the day, and I sit over there in the dining room table to work on my coding stuff during the day, which is also what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks now. I've been working on the Odin project. Oh look, I found another small piece of toy that's now a choking hazard, trash. And I do want to show you the stuff I've been learning in that thing. I'm pretty proud of myself for the stuff that I've done in the Odin project. Technically, this week is week 4, and last week was week 3, and I finished HTML and CSS, and I made a landing page that I'm pretty proud of. This looks like it has poop on it, man. Well, I don't know about this thing. I mean, I'm supposed to wash the cover. Like, my mom always tells me to, like, sun dry the bedding. Maybe I can spray it. I'll just spray it a little bit on the surface. Put this one in the wash. That's the wash pile. I have spray. I have this thing. Nature's Miracle. Alright, just like up there a little bit. Okay, wash the cover of my sack. So see, like, I bought like new food for her because I thought it was her food and that she was having food allergy. But she's not having food freaking allergy, okay? I did that. I just realized my windows are open and no one can hear me. Okay, the window wasn't open that far, okay? So it's been a week. I freaking am so mad. I think back about this vet appointment and what happened and processed this vet appointment where they told me that Riley had kennel cough. And I'm like, wait a second here. If I'm complaining about diarrhea, wouldn't it make sense for someone to ask me about her stool, about the diarrhea, about the appearance, about the color, about whether she's having blood in her stool, what color it is, what the frequency is, and why didn't they send a fecal sample? You know? That's like one of the first things that vets do. Like when you go for an annual checkup, they do stool sample, make sure everything's fine. And I'm coming here with a week of diarrhea and they didn't do any of that. I think back and at the whole interaction, and I realized this lady dismissed every one of my concerns. I asked about parasites. I asked about the diarrhea, especially at night. Multiple times she tried walking away from my car when I wasn't done asking questions, and she said, you know, we've had a couple dogs come through here. It seems like kennel cough is going around, and based on Riley coughing a couple times and having vomiting, she just diagnosed her with kennel cough. She sent us away with a little packet info sheet about kennel cough. I read the info sheet. Not once in that info sheet is diarrhea mentioned. Okay? So I finally like processed all this information and I'm like, okay, something is wrong. I know that she has probably fucking Giardia diarrhea. And I'm like, okay, this has gone far too long. She hasn't gained any weight in 2 weeks. She's a puppy. She's supposed to be growing. She's hungry all the time. She's not getting enough to eat. And I've just had enough of not sleeping, honestly. I think both of us had enough of not sleeping. So I called around to other vets to get a second opinion. A lot of them were not able, some of them didn't pick up, some of them were not able to give a same day appointment. And I wasn't willing to wait another fucking day because this has gone on way too fucking long. So I ended up going to medbed, which is like an emergency room. And this is like not an emergency situation, like Riley wasn't gonna die, but I was having an emergency. Okay, I cannot do this any longer. And so we went to the emergency room. I'm sure this is not why they became emergency room vets, to treat fucking intestinal parasites, but this doctor was much more kind, much more empathetic, listened to my concerns, took a stool sample, sent us home with metronidazole, which is flagyl, which I'm familiar with, and Panicure, which is apparently a dewormer. She sent us home with that. I think around like 12:30 is when I get home. Around 12:30. So she gets 1 dose of each at 12:30. And then around like 11:30 to make the dosing at a more normal time. Gets a second dose of Flagyl. First night, Sean texted her because I took her the night prior and I had been up. Monday morning, she woke up at 3:30 to go poop, and I couldn't go back to sleep after that, and I was up like since 3:30 that day. So I had Sean take her for the night. She slept through the night. First day of meds, she slept through the night. I was like, I'm so fucking pissed right now. I mean, I'm glad she didn't do it. And I don't remember what my reaction was. I think I was like, oh my god, like oh my god, like oh my god. She slept through the night, like the first time in 2 weeks. That was my reaction. Come out. Oh, it's tied down. An idiot. Sorry, Sack. I will untie you. Sorry for pulling. I hope you're fine. Okay. It is untied. Slept in the morning. The next day, I am trying to get some shit done in the morning. And then when I have a second, I check my email. And there's something in my inbox. What happened to the other zipper? What's going on? Is there just one zipper this whole time? I thought there was 2 zippers that like meet in the middle. I guess it was just one zipper. This, maybe I shouldn't sit on that thing. So yeah, I check my email. I see that there's an email from MedVet. I open it. It says, Riley test positive for Giardia, a common intestinal parasite, Giardia. Okay, I guess the GoPro overheated and died. I felt the heat of my fury, and it is pretty warm. I took it out of its case so I could breathe a little. Anyway, I saw that email. I was already at Foxy's. I showed her the email. I ran around her apartment shouting, I was right, I was right, I was right. Multiple times, just running around, stomping my feet. I was like, I fucking told you. And that's the end of the story. She had fucking diarrhea. I didn't trust my instincts. I didn't advocate for her. In my defense, I put my trust in a medical professional who didn't take me seriously. And you know what? I'm fucking done with people not taking me seriously. Okay? I'm fucking done with it. The end. I go back to cleaning now. I'm trying to think what I need to do first. Should I vacuum or Swiffer? A lot of drool here. Probably Buddha's drool, to be honest with you. Very dirty. Look how dirty this thing is. I did that because I want to take up less room. Will it work? Will my plan work? I'm uncertain. Okay, it worked. I don't know if you saw that, but that was some cool shit right there. My dryer is done. Alright, I couldn't decide for the longest time whether I wanted a Swiffer or vacuum, but I have a bunch of floof balls around and I think those are only going to be able to be sucked up by the vacuum. So here I go with the vacuum. So I vacuumed and mopped my entire house, and I Lysoled Riley's crate and Riley's pen and the 2 spots in the house that she pooped. So I hope that is sufficient. Okay, I finished cleaning my entire house. The last stuff is in the washer. It's 10 a.m. now. So that took like 4 hours. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.